Awesome. So to begin this evening, we'll start in toes pose. You'll start to tuck your toes underneath and start to sit your hips back onto the heels. Toes pose can be pretty aggressive, pretty fast, so you do have a couple of options to take a little bit of pressure off of your feet. You can use a block. You'll put the block toward your heels and then start to send your hips back. That's going to take a little bit of weight and pressure off. If the block is uncomfortable, you can always use your blanket. Blanket will go to the back of the heels, and then you can start to sit back onto the blanket. That's going to create some extra elevation for you and take a little bit of the immediate pressure right off. Using this time to start to ground down, coming into your own space. Hands can stay rested on top of the quads, or you can bring one hand up to the heart, one hand onto the belly. Gratitude unlocks all that's blocking us from really feeling truthful, really feeling authentic and vulnerable and happy. Gabrielle Bernstein. Throughout our practice tonight, know that your breath is your tool. With these longer holds, sensations will come up. That's perfectly fine. Embrace the sensations as they arise, just as long as you're not experiencing any sharp pain. If there's ever any time where sharp pain arises, go ahead and exit the posture, come into child's pose, or take any other variation that feels good in your body. if you'd like to make any adjustments. Maybe you add or remove a blanket or a block. Maybe you change the formation of how you have your hands. If they're on top of the quads, maybe you bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Breathing into the space that you're creating. Four more big breaths here. To release, start to hinge forward, place the hands down on the mat. If you have any props, remove them off to the side. Take your blanket and move that to the front of your mat. Start to release the toes down to the mat so toenails are digging into your mat. Start to lightly pedal out the feet, bringing some fresh circulation and blood back into the lower extremities. From here, slowly start to make your way down onto your belly, bringing your blanket underneath the chest, starting to bend the elbows, placing the elbows down on your blanket, separating the arms so they're about shoulder width apart, moving into Sphinx. Releasing any tension or holding in the neck, releasing the glutes. Our practice this evening is going to take us through a total body stretch. We're starting with the toes and working our way up, getting into the hips, lower back, upper back, and shoulders. Creating neutrality and balance within the bodies. Halfway through, if you'd like to make any adjustments, you can remove your blanket if you'd like. You do also have the option to take the legs out wider than mat distance. Can also start to bring a bend into the knees, bringing the toes together, coming into a diamond shape and the legs, getting more into the hips and the lower back. more big, full breaths. If your legs are in a diamond formation, start to lower them back down to the mat. Legs will be out wide. Slowly start to bring the feet back in. Extend the arms out wide in front. Remove your blanket off to the side. Lower down onto the belly. Toes point up to the ceiling. Start to release the low back from side to side, taking windshield wipers. Slowly start to release the legs down, coming into crocodile, keeping the right hand placed on top of the left. Start to rest your forehead down. Legs can stay together, or you can start to bring some space, taking the legs out to create room in the lower back, taking some of the pressure off. Noticing here in crocodile, the compression of your belly being down on your mat. Just taking note how it feels here with your inhales and exhales. Finding the small compression in the stomach. This pose allows for a gentle compression in the inner intestines, allowing for clearing through the digestive tract. Pulling any toxins that we might have in our body down and out through the body. Halfway through here, if you'd like to make any adjustments, maybe you switch the grip of the hands. Left hand will come over the right. Or stay exactly where you are. There's no right or wrong as long as you're not feeling any. Four more breaths here. To release, slowly begin to lift your forehead off of the left hand, removing the grip. You can roll onto your back, either the left or the right side. Grabbing for a block if you'd like a block. Lowering down onto the back, feet stamped down on the mat. Coming into supported bridge, you have the option to use your blanket if you'd like to use your blanket instead. Place it under the small of the back toward the sacrum. This is going to give you a little bit of lift, but it won't be as aggressive as if you're using a block, if you're using your blanket. Otherwise, if you'd like to use your block, start with it on the lowest setting, so flat. You'll tuck it underneath the small of the back towards your sacrum. Find that sweet spot. Arms can go out to the sides. Have the option to tee out the arms. You can take a cactus through the arms. Hands can come on the belly. Take whatever variation allows you to feel grounded and supported. We're halfway through. If you'd like to make any adjustments, maybe you take the arms out to a T or a cactus. You can also move the setting on your block to the next highest height by flipping the block over onto its side, noticing how that changes the compression. Or you can also start to walk your legs out for a change in the compression as well. If that's too much, you can always walk your feet back in underneath you. You can come into Supta Baddha Konasana, butterfly legs. Your choice on where you'd like to be this evening. Three more breaths here. If your legs are out long or in Supta Baddha Konasana, butterfly legs, slowly start to bring the legs back underneath, feet plant down on the mat. If you're at a higher setting, start to lower your block down to the lowest setting. Starting to push through the hands and the feet, lift the hips up, slide the block out from underneath of you, taking it to the right or the left side. Slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time. Coming into one of our counter postures, our recuperation posture. You can come into constructed rest, taking the feet out wide towards the edges of the mat, knocking the knees together, especially if the lower back feels a little sensitive. This is a great We'll be here for a few breaths to allow the body to absorb the benefits of holding supported bridge for a longer period of time. We have 3 more breaths. To release, slowly start to bring the legs closer together. We'll start to come up onto the elbows, moving into banana. We'll start to lift the hips up and over toward the right side of our mat. We'll start to slowly lower back down onto the low back, extending the arms up long overhead. Starting to reach the fingertips over to the left side of the mat. Stop where you feel a nice stretch in the side body. Starting to walk the feet over to the left side of the mat. If this is enough, you can stay here. Otherwise, if you'd like to get a deeper stretch along the right side of the body, take your left hand, grab for your right wrist, and start to pull the right wrist closer over to the left side of the mat. If you're feeling a nice stretch here, stay here. For even more, you can place your right foot over your left. Banana helps us to create lengthening and expansion along the side body, opening up through the chest and the shoulders. halfway through if you'd like to make any adjustments. Maybe you uncross the legs or add a cross to the legs if they weren't already there. Release the right wrist or grab for the right wrist. Maybe you start to walk your feet further over to the left side. Take the fingertips further over to the left side to create an even deeper stretch in the side body. Four more breaths. If your right leg is crossed over the left, slowly start to release. If you have a grip on the right wrist, start to let go. Start to shimmy the arms and the legs back to center. Coming into pentacle or starfish or constructed rest. Three more breaths here. If you're in constructed rest, start to extend the legs out long. If the legs are in pentacle or starfish, start to bring the legs out long and together. Pushing walking the legs over to the right side of the mat. Taking the fingertips over to the right side of your mat as well. If this is enough, stay here. Otherwise, if you'd like a deeper stretch and the side body, start to take the left foot up and over your right. Can also take the right hand, grab for the left wrist, pulling the left wrist over toward the right side of your mat. Making sure that both shoulder blades are down on your mat. Noticing that this side might feel different from the right, that's okay. We're still creating length and expansion through the left side body, finding broadening through the chest, opening up through the shoulders.
Halfway through, if you'd like to make any adjustments, maybe you remove the cross of your feet, the hold of your wrist, or maybe you'd like to take it even deeper, walking the toes even further over to the right side of your mat, taking the fingertips over further to the right side of the mat as well. Again, as long as there's not any pain, you're doing it correctly. Four more breaths. If your left foot is crossed over your right, slowly start to pick your left foot up, place it down, releasing the grip. Start to shimmy both of your arms and your legs to the center of your mat, coming in to pentacle or starfish, or taking constructed rest, knocking the knees together, whatever feels best in your body.
Three more breaths. Starting to bring the knees in. Massaging the lower back. Taking some circles, one direction, and then the other. Releasing the sacrum. Coming back to center. 2 breaths here, taking any last wiggles or fidgets that your body is asking you for. Maybe you circle out through the ankles. And when you're ready, only when you are ready, Shavasana is there for you. Letting your arms and legs fall out wide, taking up lots of space. You do have the option to take your blanket and place it over the stomach to add an extra layer of support and grounding. Using this time to relish in this place of stillness, letting your body absorb everything that you just did in this hour. Know that transformation sometimes begins with a fall. So never curse the fall. Yasmin Magudhead. Starting to bring some gentle movement back into the body. Starting to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Taking some nice gentle movements. Rolling on to your right side, coming into a fetal position. Using the right bicep as a pillow. Slowly taking your time, making your way back up to a seated position. Removing the cushion from side to side, allowing your sit bones to root down on your mat, rolling the shoulders up by the ears and releasing down. Taking a moment here to feel the expansion and length that we've created throughout the body. Hands come to heart center. Taking a moment for yourself, giving yourself grace and gratitude for showing up on your mat this evening. Allowing your body to find stillness and nourishment. Thumbs come to forehead center. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. It's always a pleasure. You are beautiful, brave, brilliant, and bold. Be badass every day. From my wild heart to yours, namaste. Awesome. Go ahead and mute you guys.
Thanks, Shawnie.
You're welcome, Monica. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it.
That was lovely.
Thank you. Glad to hear that.
All right.
Awesome. Well,
that's
everything that I have. Yes. Yep. It's nice to be able to just sit and be. It's a challenge. It's hard to make yourself own that stillness, but it feels so nice when it's all said and done.
It does. It does. Thanks. I'll see you soon.
Sounds good. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Have a good evening, guys.
You too.
Thank you.